Hi guys, welcome to Pickups. We've got a few pickups here. I'm kind of conscious that last time we left it really long and the video ended up being like 40 minutes long, so I want to kind of keep up with them. Not picking up much really lately, but got a few bits, so I want to just sort of keep on top of it. Yeah, mostly game stuff, and then there's a few vinyls here which I'll show at the end if anyone's interested in vinyl stuff. So I just got to try and remember where all this stuff came from because it's been so long. Some of it's been here for absolutely ages. So I guess just start wherever. Firstly, I got this Mega Drive book, the I can't even remember what it's called now, Collected Works or something, Mega Drive Collected Works. Now, this was originally a Kickstarter, and then they did like a second print run, so I backed the Kickstarter for this. But it's a massive book, and it's just got sort of design plans of the consoles, game artwork, you know, just loads of absolutely gorgeous artwork in there, and yeah, just bits about the games and the console and just all sorts really, which is awesome. So really happy to get that. It weighs an absolute ton, this thing. Yeah, missed out on the first print run, so happy to get one. I also randomly got this Puyo figure on eBay. Now, it doesn't actually look too bad, but the box is a little bit beat up because the guy just literally wrapped this box in brown paper, no packaging at all. Absolutely shocking. But I paid like £3 for it, plus £3 postage, so £6, so I can't really moan. If I just get it out, yeah, it's got like official Sega stuff on the box, so I guess it's like an official figure. If I can actually get the bloody base on, but yeah, it's just this little Puyo figure, and it's really well made actually. It's really like solidly made. It's quite heavy. So for £6 posted, I can't really moan. That's going to go in the cabinet with some of the Sega games. The cabinet is kind of in a state of turmoil at the moment because I've just had a little cull and I got rid of about 50 Mega Drive games. Just shit that I'm not playing. I can't be bothered to have the games on the shelf just for the sake of it, so I thought these 50 or so games can definitely go. So yeah, I kind of started rearranging the cabinet, and there's a lot of space in there, so I'm kind of moving around stuff. I've got a couple of purchases I've got in mind because I sold 50 Mega Drive games, I sold some other bits, and I've also bought a couple of bundles recently and sold off the majority of them, so I've made quite a lot of money. I don't want to just spunk it on stuff, but I would like a Mega CD because my Mega CD that was off getting repaired is dead. It's completely gone, so I need to buy a new Mega CD. If anyone's got a Model 1 Mega CD, let me know because I'm in the market for one. And there's a couple of games and stuff that I want to buy just kind of for the collection, and then we'll see what happens. So yeah, that was that figure. I also got a bundle of Duncan Golden Age Gamer, and I'll leave a link to his channel in the description. Now, if Duncan's watching, he'll know that this was absolutely ages ago that I bought these. Now, it was a bundle of big box PC games, and there was only really one game that I wanted in the bundle, and I kind of made him an offer and said, look, I will be flipping the rest. You know, I can offer this. I advised him you probably do better if you sold them separately, but I think he wanted some money for an MVS cart. He wanted a quick bish bash bosh, so yeah, got the bundle. I did really well actually selling off the games. A couple of them went way higher than I expected, so I ended up keeping quite a few games from the bundle rather than just the one. So I got Grand Theft Auto. Now, I don't really have any nostalgia for like the console version of the Grand Theft Auto because when I first played it, it was on a PC back in the day. So this kind of is the way I remember it, this big box. I'm just looking on the back, system requirements 486 DX4 and 16 meg of RAM. DOS or Windows 95. So yeah, I mean they're all in really nice condition actually. That is just absolutely fantastic condition. That's CD-ROM obviously. Being about, I think it was it 97 Grand Theft Auto was released, I'm not sure. Then we've got Heretic, which is another game that I played a lot on the PC back in the day. Again, this is a CD-ROM. If you don't know Heretic, it's basically like a medieval sort of fantasy magic version of Doom, like first-person shooter style. It's made by id Software as well as Doom. So it's kind of, if you've played Hexen and Heretic are kind of the same series. I don't know if Heretic's the sequel to Hexen or what. Speaking of Hexen, oh yeah, there you go. So Hexen came after Heretic because it says Hexen Beyond Heretic. So similar thing, witchcraft and stuff and blah 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 blah. But yeah, played this to death back in the day. It's again obviously id Software, it's CD-ROM. Fantastic game. Really loved this series back in the day. There's a few Doom clones that I really loved. These and stuff like Rise of the Triad and stuff like that. And then another game in the series which I don't recall ever playing is Hexen 2. Again, CD-ROM, id Software, really nice nick. I don't ever recall actually playing Hexen 2, but I played Heretic and Hexen a whole lot. So yeah, that's cool to get those. But the one game I actually wanted in the bundle, which is why I was interested in buying it in the first place, is Doom 2. Now that is, I mean, this is absolutely fantastic nick. There's a little bit of scuffing at the top, but I mean, that is nostalgia overload looking at that. It's just awesome. Now this is floppy disks, 3.5-inch floppies. If I just open it up in there. But yeah, it's got the instruction manual and like a survival guide in there. And the discs obviously. Yeah, chuffed to get that. It's so cool to have this. And I'm not a huge collector of like the big box PC stuff and Amiga stuff because I just don't have the space. But I do have a few of like the LucasArts and stuff, Amiga and PC games on display, because I just love the box art of the big box games, and it kind of reminds me of a different time. I've said it before, when we used to go to the video game shop and we had our pocket money or allowance or some money for birthday or whatever, and sometimes you were just browsing the shelves and you were going by box art alone, so we didn't have the internet and what have you, and you couldn't really research and what was a good game and what wasn't. So you're going purely on the box art and what it said on the box. So I just love these big box games that I played a lot as a kid, and obviously Doom 2 I played to death when I was a kid. So yeah, thanks again Duncan for that. He did me a really great deal on that, really chuffed. While we're on topic of big box PC games, I did pick up a couple on eBay which I've been after for ages. As I said, there are actually very few games that I want on you know, like big box versions of, due to the space. But a lot of them are the LucasArts games, and there's a few that I'm sort of ploughing through. Sam & Max and Day of the Tentacle I want big box, but they are absolute dogs to get for a good price and good condition, and in English, because a lot of the ones you find on eBay are kind of German text and what have you. So yeah, Dark Forces, another game that I played to death on the PC. This is LucasArts, as I said, CD-ROM version. Really nice nick, minor scuffing, but generally, like, you know, it's pretty, considering the age, it's pretty mint. Really happy with it. And yeah, it's got all the gubbins in there and the CD. So really chuffed to get that one. That was really cheap. I think it worked out about 10-15 quid posted on eBay, so it wasn't too bad. And then another one that I picked up on eBay, and it's kind of not one I had as a kid, but my friend had, and I have a little bit of nostalgia for it, but I have a lot of nostalgia for the games in it, and it's the LucasArts triple pack. So you've got Sam & Max Day of the Tentacle and Indiana Jones Fate of Atlantis. And like I said, Sam & Max Day of the Tentacle in particular, I really want big box versions of. But yeah, this is floppies. It weighs a ton because it's got floppies for each game in there. Obviously, there's a floppy disk and CD versions of Sam & Max Day of the Tentacle. So the CD version of Day of the Tentacle's got like full voice acting and what have you. But yeah, normally these do go for quite a lot of money. They seem to go for around 40 on eBay, but I got this really cheap. From memory it was around a tenner. Quite lucky to get it. Nice bit of ale, pale ale on the hot day. It's so hot in here, it's really brutal. Okay, another random purchase. This is something that I had been after for quite a while, but it's not something that I really want to pay out any money for, because they tend to go for silly money. Which is this Bethesda E3 set. So it's still sealed, never opened. Unfortunately, it does have some minor sort of wear to the box, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. But it was from E3 a few years back, and if you can see there, if I try not to get any glare, you've got 3 little figures. So you've got a figure from Dishonored, Fallout and Doom. Obviously I'm a big fan of Fallout, and I do like Dishonored, and I've not really played many of the modern Doom games, but big fan of the franchise. And I was looking on eBay. I mean, I watch these sometimes, and these just the loose Fallout figure I've seen sell for like 30 quid loose, which is nuts. So as you can imagine, the whole set sealed always goes for quite a lot of money. But someone posted something on eBay, and the description was something along the lines of Bethesda E3 figures, with no photos, and it was a tenner. And I think because there was no photos, nobody bid on it, so I thought, fuck it, it's worth a tenner, it's worth a punt. If it turns out to be this, even if it's open, the figure, you know, the Fallout figure alone is worth like 30 quid. So I bought it for a tenner, and it turned up and it's brand new and sealed. So I cannot moan about the minor marks on it. I'm really chuffed. That's just going to go in the Fallout little area there in the game room on display. So that's cool, really chuffed to get that. Right, we got some Game Gear games. Now these came from Michael Armand on Galaxy Sega, and this is again a long time ago. They're not the best condition, but they were absolutely filthy cheap, so I couldn't say no. We've got a couple of really good ones in here. So firstly, the less exciting ones, we've got Halley Wars, which is a little shooter that I actually have cart and manual only, so I was kind of upgrading to get the box for that one. And then Marble Madness, which is a game that I played a fair bit on the Mega Drive, but never actually had back in the day on the Game Gear. Yeah, that box isn't too bad, but you can tell it's been crushed and it's a bit beat up, which is a shame. This one is probably the best box of the bunch, but it's still a little bit mangled. But yeah, really happy to get this. Sorry, my memory card ran out, I had to just switch them over. So yeah, really happy to get these, as I said, and these two games I've never actually played, and really keen to try them out, and they tend to go for quite a few quid, so I think getting these two in the bundle was, you know, is an absolute bargain. First one's Wolfchild, which is also on Mega CD, and is it on Master System as well, I believe? So like side-scrolling kind of platformer shooter thing, I think. So yeah, keen to see how that turns out. And then another one that's also on the Master System, which I have played, which I'm really chuffed to get, which is Master of Darkness. Now they're all complete, it's just kind of, the box is a bit squished, if you can see. It's not the best, and it seems to be the bottoms of the boxes that have suffered the most. But it's kind of like Castlevania-ish. So yeah, quite keen to see how it plays out on the Game Gear. So always nice to get new Game Gear games that I haven't played before. This is a random eBay purchase which I got with some other stuff. I don't really buy PC Engine games, as you know, because I got the EverDrive and I kind of quit collecting them. But this was like a quid, so I thought, fuck it, I'll just grab it. And it's just Hue card only TV Sports Basketball. So I'll stick that. I've got a little credit card holder thing that I keep my loose Hue cards in. So I just stick it in there. This one was from Mark Horsburgh, who is selling up a lot of stuff to kind of fund something. If you watch his channel, you'll know what I'm talking about. And he was selling a lot of really good Saturn and Dreamcast Japanese shooters, many of which I missed out on, but I was really happy to get this one, and that's Kingdom Grand Prix. Now, Kingdom Grand Prix is like it's like a hybrid between a shooter and like a race. So you're taking part in this futuristic Grand Prix, and you're all in spaceships, and you fly up the screen, and you're racing your opponents. So I forget how many there are, if it's like 8 of you all together. So you're actually shooting enemies like you would in a vertical shooter, and then you kind of, it's a trade-off between shooting and boosting up the screen, and the higher up the screen you are, the faster you go, and you're kind of trying to avoid the enemies and shoot the enemies, but while also racing your opponents. So it's a really novel idea, and some great graphics and music. Really cool shooter. I'm really chuffed to get that, and I have been really enjoying playing it, although I'm absolutely shit at it. I'm absolutely nowhere as regards to placing anywhere decent in the races yet, but it kind of takes a bit of getting used to the mechanics of when to boost up the screen and when to attack and blah 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 blah. But it's such a cool idea. I'd thoroughly recommend trying that out to anyone who's into Saturn. Now, I mentioned I bought a couple of Mega Drive bundles, and one of the bundles I kind of harvested a couple of games that I needed for. Now, first one was when I get stuff in the bundles, I always check at any of them upgrades for my games, and I believe I upgraded a couple of the games in the Mega Drive collection. But I did check this, and Sonic the Hedgehog on the Master System was in the bundle, and I thought I'll check mine to see if it's an upgrade, or maybe mine's missing the manual. Mine was just missing the cart and manual, it was just the box. So I don't know how that happened, if I've lost the cart or what, but yeah, so upgraded Sonic on the Master System. My Master System collection is what? About 7 games. I really don't collect Master System much. I only collect the games that I kind of had played as a kid. I never had a Master System, but I did play on a few mates' Master Systems, and there's a few games that I have nostalgia for. So otherwise, I just play them on the Everdrive, on the Mega Drive. And then yeah, the other game that I didn't have, which is complete, is Sonic Chaos. So happy to get that. It's complete. It's in really nice nick, apart from it does have a little bit of wear on the manual, and there's some shit. There's some pen on the manual. But yeah, chuffed to get that. Otherwise, into the Master System collection. And randomly in the bundle, when I was checking through, whenever I get Micro Machines games, I always check if these have them in there, because none of my games have them. And I picked up a copy of Micro Machines Turbo Tournament 96, and lo and behold, these were in there, absolutely mint untouched. So you've got the invites. So back in the day, you used to fill in these invites. So you were invited to a Micro Machines tournament at, and then you'd put, Pete's house or your address, and then the time and date, and then please telephone. You put your number there and say you'll come. So that it's just beautiful, really. It's just a day that is no longer relevant, a time that's no longer relevant, when multiplayer was literally sat in a room playing with your mates, which I think is still the only way to play multiplayer. I'm not really into this online business, but yeah, you send these invites out to your mates, and it says don't forget to bring a Mega Drive joypad or standard joystick if you've got one. So all your mates bring a pad, and you sat there playing multiplayer Micro Machines. So these look like they have not been touched. There's a whole booklet of the invites, and then it also came with these. I don't know if some of these have been used, but there's 3 on here. And it's the congratulations sort of certificate for the winner. So you'd have your friends round for your Micro Machines party after they got their invites, and then the winner would get this certificate saying this certificate records that blah 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 came first in the Micro Machines 96 video game tournament on date. Yeah, so it's just so cool. I'm really chuffed to get that. So that's going into my copy of Turbo Tournament 96 finally, after years of kind of keeping an eye out for them. So that's cool. Another random purchase, which is something that I have wanted for years. When it first came out, I used to go into my local record shop, the one that I have been frequenting since I was 12, and it's still there, albeit in a different location down the road. But yeah, still buy records there after so many years and stuff. They've got a really good record selection there. But I remember once back in the day seeing this on the counter, and I always regretted not buying it, and it's the Grand Theft Auto Vice City soundtrack. So I have the San Andreas soundtrack CDs, but I never bought this one, and Vice City is probably my favourite in the series, and the soundtrack is absolutely amazing. You know, that 80s Miami vibe. I'm hugely into my 80s music. There's so much good music on here. And yeah, this is something I kind of bought after selling off all that Mega Drive stuff and the other games, and I had a lot of money there, and I thought, you know, I do want to buy this, and yeah, I put an offer in on one, and it was accepted on eBay. But yeah, it's mint condition. It's got all the CDs in there, all the different radio stations from Vice City. So absolutely chuffed to get that. That's going to be listened to a whole lot in the car, and yeah, just really happy to finally get it. And then we're just getting down to the last few little bits. I can't remember, did I show this before? It's like a Sega bag that Ryan Connors from Galaxy Sega randomly sent me as a gift, so thank you again, Ryan. Like I say, I cannot remember for the life of me if I've shown that already. I do have some Dreamcast pickups here as well, guys, but yeah, that's for another video. I'll do the Dreamcast stuff separately. I don't think I've done a Dreamcast video in like something like 9 months, so there's quite a bit there. I don't really pick up too much for it, but there's some really good games in there, some great shooters in there. So yeah, last few little bits that I got. Oh, this one was from Mark Horsburgh as well, in the same bundle, and it's a minty copy of Hellfire for the Mega Drive, which is like a side-scrolling shooter, very kind of R-Type-esque. Now, I have a lot of nostalgia for this because I used to play it on the Amiga a lot, but I never ever played it on the Mega Drive. So I'm hoping it's going to be equally as good. I hear great things about the Mega Drive version, but yeah, it's in really nice nick, and a bargain price again. So thanks to Mark again for that one as well. This is the only modern pickup I've had in a very long time, because I don't have that much time to play on my PS4, and I've got a few games that I'm, you know, kind of going on with. But I've been getting the itch to play Skyrim again, and I'm not one to buy remasters, so like with the Uncharted trilogy, and they remastered it and they brought it to PS4, I wouldn't buy that because I'm just as happy still playing my PS3 versions. But this is really a huge graphical upgrade, and there's a lot of mods. I know PS4 mods are, you know, hugely inferior to the mods you get on Xbox and you get on PC, but there's still some really fantastic mods for like the visuals, and also to make your life a little bit easier, like you know, stupid things like the vendors in towns have more money, which just saves a load of ball ache if you're running around and trying to sell all your stuff and what have you. But I've been really itching to play Skyrim again from the beginning, you know, sink a 100 or 2 hours into it. So when I finish playing what I'm playing now, I'll be getting into Skyrim again. So I'm really looking forward to that. I absolutely love it. After that, I'll probably go back from the start on Fallout 4 and have another bash at Fallout 4. And then I think this last pickup for games, and this popped up on Galaxy Sega, and it's again Wolfchild, which I showed on the Game Gear. I assume this is the same game. It looks pretty much the same sort of game, and it's yeah, it's got some cracks on the front, and unfortunately it's got an absolutely huge rip on the back there, but it was £5 posted, whereas normally the game will go for like, say, 15 quid. So I thought, fuck it, £5, I'll take that, why not? Yeah, and then so we've got a few vinyl pickups, just random stuff. So first one was I think Amazon purchase. It's an album I've been after for absolutely ages, and it's the Budos Band. Now They've got several albums, but the ones I've really heard most are Budos Band 1, 2 and 3. That's just what they're called. This is the Budos Band 2, which it doesn't actually say on the front. It's just got a picture of a scorpion. It says Budos Band, but on the back it does say the Budos Band 2. Now, I don't know how you'd describe these guys, but it's kind of... it's just instrumental music. It's got like that South American, like Latino vibe. The absolutely huge band of people with all sorts of instruments. It's very much sort of, you know, when you see like Western films and there's that like South American sort of music to it. It's really hard to describe, but go and check out Budos Band 2, this album. I'd probably get 1 and 3 at some point, but this is my favourite. If you look up on YouTube the Budos Band 2 and have a little listen, because it's the kind of music that you either are like, you know, you're not a fan at all, or you're going to really love it. It's really Marmite music, but I absolutely love it. It's just great. It's kind of like that 70s cop show music in a way, that kind of vibe. I love it. It's great for driving and just relaxing too. Really great album on Daptone Records. So yeah, go and check out the Budos Band. And then we got a couple of eBay purchases I made. So not in the best nick. It's got a sticker on the front there, but we've got Welcome to the Beautiful South. Massive Beautiful South fan, absolutely love them, but this is probably my favourite of their albums. It was really cheap, like I said, it's not in the best nick, but it plays fine. But yeah, some really great tunes on there. And then yeah, another one off eBay which I've been after for a while, and it's Hall & Oates. What's it called? Is it called Big Bim Bam Boom or Big Bam Boom? Something like that. Yeah. Big Bam Boom. But yeah, it's Hall & Oates classic kind of 80s, but this is the album that's got Out of Touch on. I love that tune, it's so good, so really chuffed to get that. And then the local record shop where I work it's like a guy, he sells all sorts of shit like figures and stuff, but he sells loads of records, and he every kind of 6 months he has a sale where he sells all his records off for £1 or £2, and then he changes all the stock over. So yeah, I picked up a load of records which were like £1 or £2 each. So we've got Technotronic Pump Up the Jam. Now I have Pump Up the Jam on 12-inch single, but this album has also, besides Pump Up the Jam, it has Get Up Before the Night Is Over, if you remember that. Huge like nostalgia 90s overload there, from when I was probably about 10 or 11. Let's see, what year is this? 1989, so I was actually 8 when this came out. So yeah, listen to this a lot, man, when I was like 8, 9 years old. Absolutely loved it. Really cool like era for the kind of dance music in the UK back then. Then we've got Casey and the Sunshine Band, which, you know, everybody loves them. It's got Get Down Tonight on it, Boogie Shoes. Yeah, that's the way I like it. You know, classics, absolute classics. You gotta love Casey and the Sunshine Band. Then we got an album that I think I might have, and it's the Pointer Sisters Breakout. I'm a huge fan of the Pointer Sisters, especially one track which is on here, Automatic. Love that tune, absolutely fantastic. But it's got some ones that you might know if you don't know Automatic, like Neutron Dance and I'm So Excited, everybody knows that, and Jump, which a lot of people know. I think some other band covered Jump, like in the 90s or early 2000s. But yeah, I love the Pointer Sisters, but I had a feeling that I've already got this album, which I need to check in the collection. I may have it, but I'm not sure. I thought, you know, if it's £1 or whatever, I'll just buy it, and if I've got it, I'll give it away. And then the last one I got in there was Grandmaster Flash. It's a 12-inch single of The Message, which is awesome. Yeah, it's just The Message, and then on the flip side it's got the instrumental version. So yeah, can't go wrong. So yeah, guys, that was it for pickups really. I hope this isn't too long of a video because I'm conscious that I don't want the pickups videos to be too long. So next time I'll try and do one a bit sooner. But yeah, like I said, there's a couple of things I want to buy with the money that I made from selling off all the stuff. So there's some more stuff to show you. There's a really big purchase that I made in January that I still haven't showed you guys. That I'm really excited to show you, which I think deserves its own video. So I will get around to doing it eventually. I just got a new capture card as well with the money because my old one was playing up. So I got a new capture card. So hopefully I'll be able to show you this pickup soon. But anyway guys, I'm waffling on. Thanks for watching as always. Thanks to all new subs recently if you're a new subscriber. Thanks for watching and I'll see you soon guys.